Somewhere right now, there's someone working a full-time job with a retirement match sitting untouched. Just free money on the table, sitting there. No one told them it existed. No one told them how to claim it. And every paycheck that passes is one that they'll never get back. Today we fix that. Friends, welcome to the Conscious Lane. My name is Chilota Morama, and this is a show where we sit down long enough to think about where we're going and what we're doing to get there. Every conversation that I have here, whether with a guest or just me pulling up a chair to have a heart-to-heart, is a conversation that explores how ordinary people can do extraordinary things, not overnight, but over time, building a process that can result in getting us to the final destination. If you followed our conversation so far on the Conscious Lane, you would have seen me have conversations with financial planners and business owners and pick their brains on what it means to actually build wealth that would last. And there are some of the things that they've shared so far that I would like to get into today. They specifically talked about a retirement account being part of your asset. And if no one in your family ever talked about something like this, no one ever talked about a roadmap that can help you build wealth, that's totally fine. That's what we're doing on this channel. Today, we'll be exploring one of those maps. So let's get into it. The four things that I specifically want to talk about today are the 401k, the Roth IRA, the index funds, and the high yield savings accounts. By the end of this conversation, you know what they are, what they do, and how all of them fit together. So let's start with the 401k. So the 401k is offered by your employer. So every month or every pay period, bi-weekly or monthly, a percentage of your income that you elect goes into your 401k account before taxes. So the money is growing and then you pay taxes when you pull it out at retirement. But here's the part that most people miss. Some employers would match your contributions up to a certain percent. What do I mean by that? So if you, for example, contribute 3% of your income or 4%, your employer could match up to 4%. It could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4% of your contribution. So this literally means that even before your money is invested, it's already doubled. And this is not a figure of speech. This is real. This is free money that's sitting on the table that you need to maximize. So for 2025, you can contribute up to $24,500 into your 401k, and that can also be matched up to that amount by your employer. But you don't have to start there. Many of us will not start there, and that's fine, but you have to contribute up to the match amount if your company or office or your employer offers that. Now the second one is the Roth IRA. So the Roth IRA is not opened by your employer, it's opened by you, and it works in reverse. And what do I mean by that? It's not tied to any employer, and with the 401k you skip taxes now and pay later. However, with the Roth IRA, you pay the taxes now and then your money grows tax-free until you withdraw. So at withdrawal, everything that you withdraw is yours. So think about what that means. You invest $10,000 today, it grows over the next 40 years to be $60,000. The $50,000 gains is yours. No more taxes to be paid on that. Just like the 401k, this also has a maximum amount. For 2026, the maximum is $7,500. And that's something to keep in mind and plan around as you invest. So one thing to note about the Roth IRA is the account needs to have been open for up to 5 years before you can withdraw the earnings, not your contributions, without any penalty. So from the day you start contributing, you can always withdraw your contributions. So the best time to open this account was 5 years ago, and the next best time is today. Now this takes us to the third one, which is the index funds. And this is specifically one that I've had people ask me questions about. Now the 401k and the Roth IRA are not investments. Yes, think of them as your lunch boxes that you had when you were in kindergarten, and you would have plantains and banana bread and whatever else you like in those lunch boxes. Those are what the Roth IRA and the 401k are. They're just those boxes, and then the things you can put into them are the index fund. So the index fund is one of the options I mean, obviously, you can have regular stock investments. You can go all in on any stock you want for a retirement account. The index funds are usually a good option to use. And most people do this. And why? Because the index funds offer you diversification at a very low cost. For example, the S&P 500 index fund is a collection of the top 500 companies in America. So if you invest in their index fund, you are buying a small piece of the top 500 companies in America by market capitalization. And this means you're betting against the American economy. And if you were to lose your money that is invested in an S&P 500 index fund, we have bigger problems to worry about than just your money that you lost. And the good thing about an index fund is it self-regulates. So say Apple crashes tomorrow and they are no longer top 500, another company would instantly replace it, and your money is still invested in that company automatically. I mean, it can go up and down, the investments you have in these companies, but over time, in the last 100 years, it's averaged about 10% growth. So they're always a good place to invest. And the fees are almost nothing. I would say a general rule of thumb is to look for expense ratios of under 0.1%. In the next video, I can talk specifically about which index funds to look into and which ones might be a good idea to invest in. So then the next bucket that I would like to talk about are the high yield savings accounts. If you're like me, when I first started saving my money, it was in your regular checking account. And needless to say that over time, that money was not even protected against inflation. What do I mean? If you leave your money in a regular checking account or savings account that has an interest rate of about, on average, 0.01% or maybe even marginally higher than that, over time, the purchasing power of that money is going down. So I know sometimes we do this because we want liquidity, but then a good alternative to consider is the high yield savings account. So the high yield savings account will offer you an interest rate of about 3% and above. There's some that offer up to 4%, 4.5%. They fluctuate over time. And this would be your best bet if you're looking for very short-term liquidity. Now, we're not talking like mutual funds and all of that, which are also good options. But if you're looking for like everyday liquidity and you want access to your money instantly, the high yield savings accounts could be a good option. Most of them have the ability to transfer your money and get it on the same day. So you have the same day withdrawal policy for some of them. And then I can also mention specific ones that I use and my experiences with some of them in the next video that I make. So we've talked quite a bit. Well, I have talked quite a bit today. And what is the takeaway from all of this? What are the recommendations? The first one, if your office offers a 401k, sign up for it. Not tomorrow, but today. Talk to your HR, talk to your supervisor, talk to someone at the company so you can stop leaving free money on the table, please. And if they offer a match, wonderful. That's an opportunity for you to double your returns even before you invest it. Number two, open a Roth IRA. Like I said, I'll still do a video where I can talk about which ones might be a good idea to use. But Vanguard and Fidelity are two very big ones that you can hardly go wrong with. Then number three, have a high yield savings account. Please stay away from traditional savings accounts, Chase Bank, Bank of America, PNC, not knocking their services. But if you're intending to have a short-term savings, a 0.1% interest rate does you no good at all, as opposed to a 3.5% or a 4% or even a 3% for the more conservative ones. Please consider that. Then lastly, don't increase your spending alone if you must. Also increase your contributions that you're making to these different accounts that you have. That's how you build legacy, by saving, not by spending. We must spend, but we should also save a reasonable amount for the rainy days and even the sunny ones too. That's everything I have for you for today. One thing I like to think about, and one thing I think is important for all of us to consider, is that there is no destination called fulfillment. Fulfillment is not a destination. We have to be intentional about enjoying the journey. So while you're building your finances, while you're journeying on the conscious lane of life, we have to always remember that the journey is the reward. So stay alive, stay conscious, and just keep it pushing. And until next time, I remain your host, Chilotam, and I can't wait to talk to you again next week.